Hi, I'm Lori Schwartz, and I'm director of the IPG Emerging Media Lab, and I'm representing the Pro iPad.
I'm Scott Susskind, CTO of the Emerging Media Lab, and I'm representing the accurate account of the iPad.
That's your opinion.
That's right.
All right, so Lori, you first. What do you like about the iPad?
Well, first of all, from a form factor perspective, it's very sexy. It's very engaging the minute you turn it on. I had a great time downloading the applications. It's kind of like candy, you know, looking through all the different applications, having them pop up, and then actually using it and navigating through the different applications is very intuitive, very similar in many ways to the iPhone. But the size of it, when you're engaging with video content, when you're engaging with any content, is really sexy because of its size. And the screen is just beautiful, lush, and full, and overall just really fun to hold.
Well, I agree with that in principle. What I'm finding, though, is that the majority of the content that's out there is designed around the form factor for the iPhone with the touch. So the video experience, unless it's been redesigned specifically for the iPad, is a little unrewarding. So it's my feeling that because it's such a young device, that the majority of the content out there is not yet ready for this particular platform, but it'll probably get there eventually.
I think you're right, these are early days, but some of the initial content, just in terms of websites or even some of the applications that have been designed for the iPad, are so sexy and so push content oriented that it's really easy to quickly engage and get into a piece of content really easily. So I think this is just a forerunner of things to come, and I think it'll be within weeks that companies will be redesigning their applications for the iPad. I mean, it's just so simple now to engage in text, video, and audio all working together.
So Lori, does it replace any product?
You know, for me, I've been struggling with wanting to consume content at a much higher level on my iPod. I don't particularly like watching video on the tiny screen, nor do I like reading blogs on that tiny print. I have the Kindle, but I find the Kindle's navigation not intuitive, so right now it'll probably replace both my phone, which is a BlackBerry for reading blogs and other data-oriented content. It'll replace my iPod for watching video content, and it'll replace my notebook probably in travel environments for consuming the latest news and entertainment content.
For me, I would say that it's not really going to replace any devices. I mean, it might replace my desktop computer for solitaire, but for me it feels like it's a rather large iPod or an iTouch. I would say that if the battery life was a little bit longer, I would allow it to replace an e-reader device such as a Kindle, because I do like the fact that it's color, so I can consume high gloss or traditional high gloss content like magazines. But I don't really mind watching video content on the smaller form factor, and this feels a little bit horsey to me. The one thing that I do wish it did replace was my Apple TV. The device doesn't allow me to stream my iTunes content from my desktop computer directly to this device. It forces me to tether it so I can copy the content over, but because the drive on this is so much smaller than on my desktop computer, I can only take a subset of my content with me. I wish I could walk around my home and be able to consume all my iTunes content. In that case, I would say yes, this would replace my Apple TV device, but as it stands, no, it really doesn't.
Well, I think your thinking is very limited, because I actually enjoyed the fact that iTunes acted as my own personal cloud, where I chose which devices I wanted the content to be on. So my iPod gets certain content, my iPad gets certain content, and my Apple TV gets certain content, with my home base being my iTunes cloud. And so I don't want every device to have every piece of content. They're designed for different reasons, they're going to be used in different ways, and I think it's a beautiful system, and I really think the Apple iTunes ecosystem backs that up nicely.
Well, I'd like to have the choice on the fly rather than having to think ahead and having to copy the content.
Yeah, God forbid you think ahead.
That's right.
All right, so Scott, then, give me two things that you think would make it better.
Two things that I think would make it better. Well, certainly a forward-facing camera. so that I could use it as a conferencing system. I would love that. And Flash support. I find that the browsing experience is stinted.